Hello and welcome to episode 9, 10? Episode a lot of From Dust. We're down some people at the moment. Thanks, holiday season. Jess has IRL things. Summer is, I think, stuck at an airport, so she might show up later. She might not. We'll see. But we have each other, and that's what matters. It's been like a month, I think, since we played together. I'm pretty sure it was before PAX. So
Yeah.
let's dig around for a little bit and check in with each other. Kiana, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I did get to see you at PAX, which was good, but we pretty much went in two separate directions for that weekend. So how have you been? What have you been up to?
Been doing pretty good. I got home from PAX immediately into finals
Oh,
because that was my life. I got in Sunday night at about midnight, and I had a final Monday morning.
that was certainly a thing that you did.
So I've been in finals hell for the past couple weeks. I am down to my final one, which is literally just a report due on Monday. So
Hell yeah.
I'm almost free.
So close.
I'll be really happy when I don't have to worry about schoolwork for the rest of the year, and I just get to play games. It'll be fun. I'm way too excited for that. I've already scheduled in games. Like, I have one tomorrow morning, and I already have one on Monday.
Nice.
So it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm running a series of Bluebeard Bride now. I picked it up at PAX, and I've been wanting to run it. I read through it 3 times over the course of 5 days, and I was
Nice.
like, I need to play this. And as soon as I tweeted about it, I'd really like to run this. I got 10 million people being like, I'd like to play. I'm like, oh, that's faster. Okay. Pulled everyone together, and now I'm running a series of that. So, series of one shots, and it'll be fun. It's gonna be horrifying because that's what it is. It's a
Right.
horror game, but it's gonna be good. I'm
When's that?
super excited. It's an old ladies cast. I'm going to be rotating through them, so it'll be fun. But
When
yeah,
is,
I'm excited to be back.
Yeah? When is
Yeah.
your Bluebeard's Bride show starting?
So they're kind of erratic dates, because it was just who could make it over the holiday?
Mhm.
But the first one's on Monday at
Nice.
12 p.m. Eastern. Yes.
Okay. So early AF Pacific. Yeah, I occasionally I love living on the West Coast. I love living in San Francisco. It's a fantastic place. But I definitely feel it with streaming because most people I think are on the East Coast or in the middle. And so I'm on a one shot on Straticus's channel tomorrow. That's at noon Eastern, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, which is early, very early for me. I'm a late riser, and stay up until super late kind of person. So we'll see how much of a person I am for that. But yeah, I'm glad you're getting through your finals. That you're basically there, and then you get to play some games because that is where the happiness lies.
Basically.
Adam, how about you? How have you been? And I hear you're looking at streaming some more.
Yes, I've recently been able to open up my Saturdays, so I am hoping to maybe on earlier parts of Saturday, maybe open up another stream or something. Before I got married, I was looking into starting my own stream, and I did get a bunch of the partial research done, started messing with OBS and stuff like that, but haven't touched it since, so I'm gonna leave the technical parts to the professionals and just put myself out there as a cast member. And besides that, I haven't been able to be too active, unfortunately, on the voiceover front or even on the YouTube front. I'm very much hoping to catch up with that once the new year passes. But it's been good, it's been working, been enjoying my first winter season as a married man. That's been a lot of fun. We actually just got our first tree together yesterday. My
Ah!
wife cut down her first tree. That was cool. We just decorated it and everything a couple hours ago. And I still have been able to fit in some nerdy stuff. I've still been painting minis. I actually
Mm-hmm.
just painted my first mini for somebody else recently.
Ooh.
My best friend's Paladin Drunic. That was a lot of fun. Really proud of how that came out. And in my home 5e campaign, I finally killed my first player as a DM,
Congratulations!
which
Isn't it such
was
a special experience?
it was a very cool experience. Like, I'm not the sort of DM that's gonna try to kill a player, but I have said to my friends that, like, hey, it can totally happen. They're also kind of in the final arc of their campaign, so odds are it was gonna happen sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
And just a very cool experience getting to, like, see how that player deals with it, getting to see how the other characters deal with it, figuring out what I'm gonna do next, because they actually were a very important character in regards to the plot of it. So
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yep. I know
really
how that
putting my
feels.
improv skills to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it when you tie the destiny of your world to a character and then they die.
Hmm. But then you
Um,
have this awesome opportunity of, crap, what do we do now that that's absent? Like, what would occur
Right.
now?
right, absolutely. And I think, I mean, as long as there aren't any like hard feelings, as long as everybody's happy about it, it's or not happy, but like okay with it.
Hmm.
It's an opportunity to process through some heavy stuff in a safe space,
Hmm.
which I think is really one of the most awesome things about role playing games is being able to like get comfortable and then run into these situations where like a character dies in the game and it's like it's just a character in a game, but it's this character that you've been getting to know and that you like directly interact with. And so you get to go through that process of grief in a way that isn't like the same as actually losing somebody.
Hmm.
And you can have a lot of really interesting stuff come out of that.
Absolutely. 100%.
So yeah, well, congratulations, I guess.
Thanks, I guess.
I don't know. It's always hard, especially if you're not planning on it, right?
Mhm.
Like I think my first player kills were not into actually no, my first player kills were because they were stupid. I think my very first player kill, I had a monk. This was like second edition, maybe, or was he a monk? No, he was some weird homebrew class, but he didn't have any magical weapons, and it was second edition, and he decided to fight a ghost, and resistance didn't exist in second edition, so if something was immune, they were just immune to physical damage, to non-magical damage, and he didn't have any magic, and so like he tried to attack this thing and did nothing, and then it hurt him, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna try and hit it again, and I'm like, oh my god, just run,
Yeah.
you
Do
moron.
monks get the whole unarmed as like a magic attack thing in
I
second edition?
don't remember. He wasn't technically a monk. He was a homebrew class I had made called a shaman. That was like it was a weird totem-based spellcaster, and he'd run out of spells. Was what was
Gotcha.
up. So
Cool.
he was out of spells. The party had split. Half of them had gone one way on the continent, and the other had gone the other way. So I was like having to bounce between. And it was like
drastic. Jeez.
him and a ranger, basically. So yeah, but it happens. Hopefully tonight we can keep everyone alive. It should be a lot easier for those two not being here. But as we were discussing before we went live, this is an opportunity to earn some XP. So, are we just about ready to jump into it? Shall I give us a recap and get us rolling? Okay, so previously on From Dust, many weeks ago, we got to see the end of the bardic competition for for the Duke, and well, we get to see the aftermath, I guess. The Duke was chewing out the Chamberlain, and the Duke's daughter sort of just told you to go while you could, and they'd contact you. But once you got back to the inn, paladins showed up, and sort of turned the place over, looking specifically for Vori and Arrow. Vori managed to sneak out the front, but Gregor, being asleep at the time, was not able to escape capture. The paladins just busted in and arrested him for associating with the suspected killers of Bishop Cavendish. He was hauled away, managed to sort of like not make eye contact with Farron, so he could not implicate them. Vori and what did Arrow even do? Arrow got arrested separately, didn't he?
Arrow went to go talk to the church.
Right to the crime scene.
Right. He went to the church because he was curious what was up, and they just arrested him there. That's right. So Gregor and Arrow got to hang out in prison together while Vori skulked around the alleyways of Two Rivers trying to avoid the guard. Farron, with the buddy cop accompaniment of Skullbreaker, went to the constabulary to try and convince them to let Gregor go. While Vori was skulking about trying to get out of the city, unfortunately he found that the gates were locked. But after a time, he stopped hearing the guards there, and when he went to investigate, he saw that they had been slain. The gates to the city left open. And he recognized the arrows that were used to kill the guards from sometime in his past. I don't think we got super specific on that, but I'm happy to say that there was an organization he was involved with that he is no longer associating with that he recognized their arrows. He then used his crazy fire mind control magic to mind control a rookie guard a little more effectively than he meant to. And she escorted him happily to the constabulary to go vouch for his friends. In the meantime, Farron managed to convince the guards to let Gregor go, saying that Gregor was their bodyguard and they had just been caught up in something. Arrow was released separately, and Vori went in because at that point, I think Arrow had cleared his name, but the paladins still thought Vori was implicated, and so Vori turned himself in, had a surprisingly reasonable talk with this legata, and managed to clear his name. And that's basically where we left off. We left off with Vori leaving the constabulary, but we got a bit of a cutaway scene to somewhere far away. We saw Queen Mab speaking with a figure with a stag's head by the name of Gravis. The two addressed each other as spouses, though they seemed not super friendly, I guess. There was, I think, if I remember correctly, there was some mention of Mab having some machinations, but Gravis seeking to take her power. So, yeah. Where we return tonight, I think it's going to be the next day. It's the next day, and you've all sort of slept off your previous day's misadventures after getting back in the wee hours of the morning. Vori is nowhere to be found. I think he probably left a note or like knocked and said goodbye to let you know where he was going. But he has a pet guard to get rid of, so he's going to deal with that. And Arrow is probably off moping somewhere as usual. But it's a. I think you wake up in the afternoon, probably sleeping in after the stresses of the late night. And as you awake, it's an overcast day, quite chill in the early fall here in Two Rivers. What would you like to do?
I guess like maybe after they woke up, we'll say maybe Gregor found the note,
Mm-hmm.
and then can use his amazing skills of deduction to figure out Arrow's off brooding somewhere,
Yeah.
and kind of look it over, show it to Farron, and be like, "Well, so much for leaving today."
Well, I guess we're just going to occupy ourselves somehow.
Well, I mean, I guess we could start prepping for the road, go stock up on rations, medical supplies, all the good stuff.
Shopping, yes. I should probably see if they've put in any form of message yet from the Duke. I'm
Oh, right, yeah.
not sure how much I want to leave that up in the air.
Man, sorry about all the racist stuff you've been dealing with since we've been here.
I mean, it happens, I suppose. We've been lucky in Sanctuary. Mostly, people tend to be fine. I forget sometimes that other cities are a little different.
You can call it backwater, it's okay.
Vori's not here to defend it.
Just.
Yeah, so, get dressed and ready, and we'll head downstairs and check in to see if if there's a message that was left.
There is. There's a letter in fine paper, not even like rough mill paper, but like actually good white bleached paper, with a red wax seal on it with the Duke's insignia. The the innkeep, Lathron, will crack an eyebrow as he hands it over to you. Keeping busy, I see.
Just following up on some business. Thank you, good sir, for keeping this safe.
My pleasure. Are you just gonna open it there in the common room, or are you gonna take it back up to your room?
Yeah, I'll just open it in the common room.
All right. Inside in like fine calligraphy, it's way more effort than should really go into a letter ever. There's a note that runs along the lines of Farron, the Fair of Rare. You are cordially invited by His Grace the Duke of Two Rivers, blah 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 blah, to perform, to have the honor of performing for Her Grace, the daughter of blah blah. In 2 days' time. Your answer is expected before the evening.
It's the afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got a couple hours before the sun goes down.
A couple of hours. Alright. So after having read this, Fred will just kind of roll it back up. And tuck it into their bag. Fine, Gregor says, well, may seem that we'll have to stay for a couple of days. I have been actually invited to do the event.
All right then. Wow, maybe we should just move in at this point. This has been a really good career move for you.
As much as this is very good for, my reputation and such, I don't know how much I'd want to stick around here for the long term.
Gregor will think about his prior run-in with old friends and be like, I'm on the same page with you there. So
Just stay for a couple more days, and then we can be off and away to.
yeah, just a couple more days.
And kind of taps the bag. I do have to send a reply by this evening, so either I do have to write that note and find a messenger, or just deliver it myself. Not sure which one.
I mean, you already know the way there.
That's true. And this will make sure it gets there on time. Right, so perhaps we do that and maybe head towards the shops as well.
Sounds good.
Cool. So Farron will pen a nice reply, basically just being like, I am more than humbled and I gratefully accept. Basically,
okay.
when you get hired on for a job and you gotta.
Yeah, you're like, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm sure I'll be I'll bring great value. So I think if you want to make it fancy, you can just drop one coin, and that'll cover the paper and the ink and whatnot. And yeah, so would you like to head to the shops after that? Is that your plan?
Yes.
Okay, so let me look up. There's a move for buying stuff, so that you can just handle it quickly instead of spending 5 million years staring at a book. Let's see. When you go to buy something with gold in hand, if it's something readily available in the settlement you're in, you can buy it at market price. Okay. If it's something special, beyond what's usually available here, or non-mundane, then roll. What are you trying to buy?
Just general rations, bandages,
Let's see.
survival stuff for the road.
What do y'all have on your person already?
Have a couple of uses of rations.
Mm-hmm. And those are measured in days, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it looks like Gregor has 3. So
Yes.
you'll probably want to buy. So heading back west, the way you came, it took you like a month to get out here, if I remember correctly. But
Farron got them real lost.
y'all got super lost. But there are some smaller stops you can make along the way in smaller towns instead of doing a straight shot.
Maybe we should do that on the way back.
So probably enough for a week or 2 would be smart. Cool. And I can look up how much rations cost in a second. Is there anything else that you want to buy? Improved equipment? A new hammer?
Fortunately, I don't think I'm quite liquid enough for new equipment.
Okay.
How much will 20 gold get me?
Oh, right. Okay. So, gifts and finery. I'm looking for food. Meals. That's dungeon gear. Rations. Okay. A ration is 5 uses for 3 coins and 1 weight. Alternatively, if you were a dwarf, you could get dwarven hardtack, which is a slightly better ration. That's hilarious. Dwarves say it tastes like home. Everyone else says it tastes like home if home is a hog farm and on fire. Great.
I think I will grab 3 rations.
Okay. And then... Did you want to buy bandages?
Yes.
So bandages, when you have a few minutes to bandage someone else's wounds, heal them of 4 damage and expend a use. That's 3 uses for 5 coins and 0 weight.
I'll do 1.
Okay.
That was 5 gold?
Yes. And then if you're looking for more powerful healing stuff, Farron, you have some funds, right?
I do. I'm pretty sure I haven't been keeping up with gold as much as I should be, but... I do have funds.
Yes. So poultices and herbs allow you to heal 7. That's 2 uses for 10 coins, whereas a healing potion would be 50 coins. Is not slow, so you can use it in combat, but heals 10. Or removes a debility. So, those are some options for healing, but if you have nothing else that you want to buy... I see some thinking.
Fair will probably pick up some posters.
Okay. So that's 10 coins, 1 weight, 2 uses. And I think as you are shopping, like probably after you collect your stuff and you've got a burlap bag or something that they're in. Gregor, you see down the street a familiar face. Not Rupert this time. There is... let me go to the thing. There is a woman. She's human. Checking my notes, by which I mean typing some things into a generator that I made. And her name is... Come on, roll 20. Olga. You have not seen her in many years, much like Rupert. But there's no mistaking the jagged scar down her face and across one eye, which is covered by an eye patch. What do you do?
Do I have the same history with her that I do with Rupert? I'm gonna kind of like clench up like, ugh! And I want to very discreetly like grab Farron by like the back of the shirt and just try to kind of like back up out of view.
Okay. I think as this happens, you notice that there are 2 other figures walking with her that are wearing cloaks, like heavy travel cloaks. Okay. So I think this might be a Defy Danger. You act in spite an imminent threat. Yeah, the imminent threat is you're going to be noticed. That she's going to see you and recognize you. I think so. So you're trying to get out of the way.
Kind of trying to be sneaky about it.
I think this is Dex.
I would say so.
Okay.
That's the stealth stat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my good one, but
oof, no, it's not. Hey, but with an 11, it doesn't matter. So you grab Farron and just pull back back into the store that you came out of, this like herbalist's shop that smells like drugs probably, and like close the door. Farron, how do you react to this? You don't know why you've just been yanked back into the store.
Gregor, what?
My my old crew's got a bit of a presence growing here.
Your old crew. Why would they want to be here? And how do you already know this?
You remember the guy that I met with the other night?
Oh. Why didn't you say anything?
There's a lot of other stuff going on, and my job's kind of to protect you, so not getting you wrapped up in my business, I feel, is part of that. Especially if I can just discreetly put it away and get us away from it.
Were you able to do that with that other one?
I'll give you a solid.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, as the first time that I got wrapped into this, I think it's safe to say I'm fairly wrapped into this at this point.
Yeah, you're right, but I was just hoping we'd be out of town by this point. Look, it's a little bit bigger than this.
Bigger.
Yeah, apparently, the gang's been kind of like mustering up a bit more. I guess they've been spreading out. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I guess they're kind of growing in power.
As you say this, Olga and her posse pass by the window. What do you do?
Gregor is gonna once again, feeling super deft and dexterous, just gonna try to step out of the way of the window.
Okay.
'Cause surely I can do it twice.
Okay, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Come on, Dex, do your stuff.
A 10 plus. Okay, you jump back behind a shelf. Like, Farron's still just standing there.
Yeah, Fair doesn't bother. It's just like,
And Farron, you see this mean-looking woman with a nasty scar and an eye patch. And you can see at her hip, she has a sword. And you can presume that the other two are also armed. She looks in the window and makes eye contact with you, but she doesn't recognize you. And she continues to
I
walk
just give
on.
her a winning grin.
From somewhere back in the shop, you hear the voice of the wizened shopkeeper. Hey! What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just browsing your wares.
Really good wares.
They adjust these, like, enormous glasses. Didn't you just buy something?
Yes, but we thought we might have forgotten something, and well, it doesn't hurt to have a second chance. Second look.
Eh. All right, I see. Well, I understand. Hobbles over to the front, like, looks out the window. Young folks like you are always looking for something special. I might have something for you. Hobbles back to the back.
I'm just kind of nodding along, and just, as the shopkeeper goes back to the back, Farron will just look back out the window to see if Olga's still there.
No, she's walked on further down the road.
Gregor's just like up against the wall, like.
I think you're safe for now.
You don't want to mess with Olga. She is mean. Real mean.
If countenance counts for anything, I think I got that just from the few moments that I made eye contact with her.
But hey, while we're still in here, let's see what this fine man has for us.
What are you looking for? Are you looking to forget things? Hear voices? See fantastical places? I think at this point, Skullbreaker probably speaks up. Gregor, I am concerned that you tried to hide instead of facing the danger. You'll never grow stronger if you hide from challenges. You should go out there and kill her in the street.
You're right, Skullbreaker. I'm sure no ill would come of that.
I can't imagine any that would. Farron, talk some sense into this man.
Just walking.
Skullbreaker, you have the foresight of, well, a hammer.
Thank you. I've always prided myself on my ability to act in the moment. Something you could learn. The old man comes out with a wide array of strange, probably extremely dangerous and unhealthy substances.
Wow, I was thinking like one thing. Jeez.
What are you looking for?
Well, it depends on what you have. And we'll turn to Gregor with the smile that says, just play along with it.
Do you have anything that could help us deal with a lot of trouble very quickly?
Oh, I see. Yes. If you're looking to get rid of trouble quickly, he'll like put forward a vial of a black powder. This will fuck you up faster than you can say hello.
Is that explosive?
Well, I mean, I've heard it described that way, but it's not gunpowder, no. It's soot. Well, that's what the kids call it.
This old man selling us drugs.
Yeah, I think there was a misunderstanding, sir.
Oh. You're not guards, are you?
No.
I was just testing you. You have to tell me if you're guards.
I am not a guard. Neither's this one.
Farron just gestures towards entire countenance.
Oh, I see. He rolls everything up in the cloth and sort of creaks away back to the back to store it. What are you doing?
Perhaps we should be on our way then, Gregor.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Your secret's safe with us. Bye.
Probably doesn't properly hear you. Yes. If we move quickly, we can still catch up to her. Which way did she go, Farron? Did you see?
No, I'm not sure which way she went.
Blast. Where are you going next?
Oh, gosh. Maybe we should just go drop off that letter and keep a low profile for the rest of the day, huh?
That's probably a good idea.
I mean, they probably won't head towards the palace or whatever.
Let's hope not. Be quite bold of them.
All right.
So give a little pat on the arm.
You return for the umpteenth time to the ducal palace with this letter, and you're greeted by a servant who will, like, upon hearing your reason for being there, will go off to retrieve the Chamberlain, which I imagine leaves you with some pause as you wait in the courtyard. But after a tense minute or so, a figure you don't recognize steps out the front door They're human as well, and they bear the same symbols as of office as the Chamberlain that you interacted with before, but they have long, flowing brown hair put into sort of a cinched ponytail, and they walk up. Hello, you are Farron? Is that correct?
Indeed. And you are?
I am Anne Gerber. I am the recently appointed Chamberlain. I have heard that there was some difficulty between you and the previous Chamberlain. I would like to assure you that that will not be an issue moving forward.
Of course. And Farron will pass over the reply.
Thank you. I will see this delivered to the Duke immediately. Is there anything I can offer to you as you've come all this way?
Looks like Gregor.
You got anything to eat?
Yes, actually, you caught us at a good time. The servants were about to sit down to lunch. Please, do come in.
Ooh, royalty.
Yeah.
She'll open the letter as you walk, being the person who would handle this at this point, and read it. I am pleased to hear that you are still interested in performing. I trust that your feelings regarding the Chamberlain have not tainted your opinion of the Duke.
Of course not. I do not place the blame of people who are not involved directly with these types of actions.
Well, these are tense times, are they not? Please, and she'll gesture into there's like an entertaining room. She'll like ring a little bell to have servants bring in food. And she'll sit down with the two of you. Are you staying in Two Rivers long? I heard that you were somewhat of a traveling entertainer.
Well, the plan is to stay as long as is necessary to complete the requested task from the Duke. Other than that, I believe myself and my companion are off and away.
Well, I don't wish to speak too soon, but I'm sure you will find the celebrations quite the send-off. That is to be your last night here. It has
It'll be a good way to end our visit here.
Yes, it has been quite the job picking up where that whole affair was left off. Apologies, I'm still new to the job. This is none of your concern. If there's nothing else,
I believe I am quite fine. If you would like to stay with us and perhaps relax a bit, we won't say anything.
she seems taken aback by the offer. Well, I suppose I could spare a few minutes. She'll sit down, sort of gingerly. And your man, she gestures to Gregor.
I just want to throw in Gregor is barely listening and is just like,
Yeah. This is Gregor Whitbread. He is my companion and a bit of a bodyguard. You
Mm.
can understand I'm not much of a fighting type.
Yes, I
Kind of
should
gestures
expect
toward.
not. I trust that your stay in Two Rivers has gone well.
Yes, actually, quite well. But a little eventful with the past few days of the competition, but other than that, quite pleasant. And try not to smile.
Yeah.
Try not to think about having to break people out of jail.
Such a time to be present for, though, with things happening as they did at the church.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate. I understand that is a very rare occurrence.
Indeed. I worry. It feels like things are changing. Tensions rising. It's true that this sort of thing, the murder of a bishop, in the church no less, is rare indeed, but the idea that it could happen at all, if you'd asked me some 3 years ago, I would have laughed.
Interesting. Does this happen to be just part of a pattern you've been noticing, I assume, then?
Well, you know how it is. We and many other cities are trying to bring safety and stability, but there are those who feel that it is better not to have those things. I think perhaps there are those that would seek to find advantage in the chaos. And they have been growing louder.
Any idea who those might be?
Adventurers, warlords, those that can find power out there in the bones of a past civilization. That power is only strong when violence is available. What the Duke does makes them weaker. But who am I to say, truly, where this world is going?
Well, you are the new Chamberlain, after all. It's your job to keep an eye on the Duke's matters, is it not? And that includes his city that he is involved in.
I suppose so. Well, this has been delightful, but I really must get going.
Of course. I appreciate you taking the time to just speak with us.
Of course. May you have a safe walk back to your inn.
I will
Sure.
hopefully see you around on 2 days' time.
Yes, of course. She'll leave you with a curt bow and a smile and sort of the bitter taste of her mention of adventurers. And we're at the top of an hour, so I think this is a good point for us to step away for a couple minutes, head to our first break, and when we return, we will see how well our two little, definitely not adventurers, managed to stay out of trouble. See
Not
you
us.
soon.
No.
Hello and welcome back to From Dust, our Dungeon World game here on Twitch. So the two of you, you have delivered your letter. You've given notice that you will indeed be accepting the invitation. You'll be present in 2 days' time. You have a rather nice meal, honestly. I think it's good enough. I'll give each of you +1 forward, just for having
Ooh.
such good food. This is how you can tell I've been playing too much Ryutama. And the two of you head out. Do you have anywhere in particular you want to go? Or are you just going to head back to the Tilted Turn to lay low?
I think Gregor would want to head right back to the Tilted Turn as soon as possible.
Yeah, Farron sort of wants to do that, but also would see Helga be on the way?
It would not be on the way. It
Okay.
wouldn't be the opposite direction. But she's in a much nicer part of town.
Yeah.
Y'all are sort of like, I imagine the keep is sort of in the middle, and then you're to the where is this city? Yeah, you're to the north, over near the docks, and so I think she would be more west, like inland.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I should check in with Helga, see how she's doing, what her message was.
Gregor's like like you can tell Gregor just wants to go back to the tavern, but he's like, yeah, all right, we should.
We'll stick to more streets that have alleyways and corners that we can duck behind.
Yes, stealthy and shadowy.
Gregor looks at Skullbaker. Yes. Stealthy.
Gregor hid twice and now thinks he's a rogue.
Yeah. The hammer you can't see coming is always the deadliest.
Mm.
That is why you should strike your friends before they become your foes.
Why don't we
Not
go
include-
see Helga?
Not including you, of course, Farron. No, certainly not.
That is quite reassuring, Skullbreaker. Thank you.
And I think just in your mind, Gregor, you hear it is important to keep them afraid, or else they will become too comfortable and seek to tear you down.
Gregor's gonna like silently think like, Skullbreaker, did somebody hurt you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, buddy.
As you sneak, I'm sure very stealthily, through the back alleyways, I had some thoughts for what was going to happen next, but since you're going through the alleyways themselves, I think you turn a corner and see three figures that you were kind of hoping not to see.
No.
You see the backs of them, though. You can recognize the sword that Olga is holding, because you were there when she looted it. You don't recognize the two figures in cloaks that have daggers in their hands, and Gregor, you think you might recognize the figure further down the alleyway that is wearing a cloak, but you're not sure from where, and they're in darkness. You have inadvertently turned down a dead-end alleyway, and you just see the backs of these three figures, their weapons out. And Farron, you see peering through the darkness from this fourth figure, a pair of golden eyes meet yours. What do you do?
As I make eye contact with this fourth figure, Farron's like putting a hand back and just kind of like shoving in, trying to tap Gregor backwards. Like, I've got to make eye contact. Trying to get him to start to back off.
Okay. Gregor, Farron's like trying to push you back away from this situation. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. Well, Gregor's already seen some people he doesn't want to run into. So I think he would... You said Gregor recognizes the Golden Knight figure?
You think you do? Certainly not from your past. It's just there's a sense of familiarity there, I think. That you can't quite place.
Gregor wants to back away so bad, but then he's gonna kind of be like, "They're gonna kill that person."
Thought we were going to stay low.
Stealth. Right.
Can I... Each of you just roll a d6 for me.
Great.
As you have these hurried whispers. Oh no.
This is fine.
Let's see how... Hey! Okay, that makes up for it. So that's a total of a 7 to 9. Okay, I'm gonna give you a worse outcome here. So you're not being stealthy enough. One of the cloaked figures, with the daggers, turns and sees you, and you can see his sun-tanned skin, leathery skin, as he looks furtively between the two of you. He has not acted yet, but he knows you're there. You could theoretically back off. What do you do?
I'm gonna throw a hammer at him.
Okay, do you just chuck Skullbreaker?
I panicked.
Okay.
Just film.
I'll say this is close enough quarters that I'll let you just roll hack and slash for it.
Thank you.
And as he opens his mouth to call out to Olga, this hammer swings through the air. Go ahead and roll it. Okay, 7 to 9 on hack and slash. Hack and slash. When you attack an enemy in melee, roll plus strength. And 10 plus you deal your damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. On 7 to 9, you deal your damage to the enemy and the enemy makes an attack against you. Okay, so he's going to spin and like draw the dagger, aiming for your throat as you swing down with the hammer, moving much faster than you expected him to. Go ahead and roll your damage. 8. All right. His damage is not quite so high. Let me grab some dice here. How much armor do you have?
3.
And that's thanks to your shield, right?
Mm-hmm. And I just got a perk from leveling up.
Right. Okay, so I think it's actually your perk armor that saves you. I rolled a 1. So this dagger swings and glances off of like your like cuts through your shirt, but doesn't draw any blood. And as he stumbles back in surprise at you not being where he thought you would be, your hammer just comes down straight on his head. There's a wet sound and a thud as his body hits the ground, and Skullbreaker just begins cackling. At this point, Olga is going to turn and see you, and you see this huge, toothy grin spread across her face. Gregor, I was looking for you too. How fortuitous.
Hey, Olga.
And she's going to dash forward with her sword, and you see as it swings up, the tip of the sword glows, and an aura passes down the blade.
Hell?
What do you do?
Gregor's gonna try and block that.
Okay, so she's thrusting forward with this this long sword, and you're just trying to like duck down and deflect.
Yeah, maybe try to like parry it with the shield.
Okay. What's your goal here? Is it just to avoid damage, or is there something that you want?
Really just to maybe avoid damage and try to open her up.
Okay. Then I think this is a defy danger to avoid damage, and then an aid roll for Farron.
Would it be strength for this one?
Let's see. Strength would be powering through. Con would be enduring. What do you think?
I guess if I was just standing there and taking it, I would do con, but since I'm trying to actively move it. Yeah.
Boom! Alright, so you managed to avoid the damage. You, like, shoulder your shield, and the sword glances off, carving a deep scar into the surface of your shield as this blue flame sort of wicks away at the edges. Go ahead and roll Aid or Interfere. So you're going to roll plus bond with Farron.
Alright.
This will be giving Farron a bonus if Farron chooses to take it. Oh my god! Nothing but net. Okay. So Farron, on a 10 plus, you have +1 to your roll if you make an attack against Olga. What would you like to do? Because what's happened here is she struck forward with the sword. Gregor leaned in with the shield and parried the blow to the side, and she's open.
Ooh. I so that's only if I choose to attack now.
Yes, it's as long as she's open.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting.
What's it gonna be? You're at the mouth of this alleyway. Combat has opened up. One man is already dead.
Yep. Farron is going to do a very rare thing and pull out the rapier.
Oh shit.
An attack?
All right. Go ahead and if you roll hack and slash, it'll be with a +1.
Cool. And dex, cause rapier, dex weapon. 8. Nope.
Wait.
Is that with your +1?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you get XP. So congrats. On a miss, bad stuff happens. So you draw your rapier and try to cut at her where you see the opening, but moving much faster than you would have expected for a sword as large as the one she's wielding. She parries the blow, riposts, so your sword arm is out to the side, and then she thrusts in and buries it halfway into your gut. And you feel this magic fire along the blade burning up through you. And you are going to take... Let me see here. Yep. 6 damage. And she pulls the sword back out and steps backward. Meanwhile, this other thug is coming at you, Gregor, so that you're having to fend off these 2 fronts. What are you going to do?
Gregor was gonna kind of try and ask her, what she was doing, why she was looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
But having just seen that, Gregor's gonna...
You can, you've got some options. You could try and read her, I think is a thing. That's a thing in this game, right? That's not just Apocalypse World.
Yeah, sure.
Reading person. Am I crazy? There's Parlay. Discern realities. Yeah, when you closely study a situation or a person. Oh my god, you can only win. Okay. You can ask 3 questions.
Holy cow.
Off of that list. And you get +1 forward while acting on the answers.
Dang, okay. Whew, wow. What here is not what it appears to be?
Olga isn't trying to kill you. She doesn't care about Farron, but she's not trying to kill you, and she's not intended to kill the person at the end of the alleyway either.
Alright, what here? Actually, no. What should I be on the lookout for?
What you should be on the lookout for is that, if Olga is here and knew about you, and came with these 2, there's probably backup nearby, and the whole group knows about you at this point.
In that case, what is about to happen?
What is about to happen? I think how this surfaces is she grabs the edge of your shield and pulls to pull you off balance, to try and create an opening for her compatriot. And as she does, she says, "Bruno wants to talk to you, Gregor. It's best you stop now." And what's going to happen is Bruno, or what's about to happen, I guess, speaking to this very broadly, is that Bruno is actively trying to get you back.
Great girl. Ooh,
As this happens, and as the blade is pulled from you, Farron, what is your next move as she says this to Gregor?
So Farron probably ends up. This is a good sized chunk of their health.
Yeah, it's like, what, half your health?
Third.
Yeah.
So it probably ends up being like, as the sword gets pulled out, then I'm kind of like stumbling a couple steps backward up against the wall of this alley and just kind of clutching their stomach as the blood is oozing.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to start.
Stents.
Yeah. So bad. This is bad.
Do you have magic that you want to cast?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna be doing. They're gonna start kind of wheezing a bit, hum under their breath, as they do, they are going to try to cast some magic on Gregor.
Okay, so you're trying to buff him up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
An 8.
All right.
Great.
Because that's how this move goes for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I find it kind of hilarious that this move pretty much only hits a 7 to 9. I like the idea that Farron is a wonderfully accomplished musician, but when it comes to actually controlling their powers, they've got some problems.
Yeah, it's also really hard to concentrate on holding a tune when you're bleeding.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So you're going for the 1d4 forward on damage?
Mm-hmm. I also have Eldritch Tones in general, but so I'm going to do the next time someone successfully assists the target with A, they get +2 instead of +1.
Okay. So, on a 7 to 9, your spell still works, but you draw unwanted attention, or your magic reverberates to other targets affecting them as well. Yeah, I'm gonna treat this as like a messy tag on your magic, and it's gonna hit the other two. They'll only get the benefit of the D4 forward to damage because they can't be assisted because they don't roll moves. But as your song rings out, and what is this? Is there a visible component to your magic that we can see here?
So it's kind of this. For the damage, I think it's a reddish orb of light that will sink into whoever is around. And I believe the aid is a green.
Okay. So these orbs fly from you into Gregor, but as they do, they pass by the sort of shimmering, distorted aura of Olga's sword, and a shard breaks off of the red orb and splinters into the other two. The bandit is going to roll over your shield, Gregor, and try and like land behind you to try and get a dagger into your ribs. What do you do?
Ooh, seeing things are getting real exciting here. Gregor's gonna try his damnedest to just kind of twirl and see if he can block that with his shield at all.
Okay. Are you trying to deal damage back, or is this just defending yourself? Like, are you trying
Just
to fight
defending.
back here, or are you
Just
trying to
defending
stall out
right
the
now.
fight? Okay. Then that'll be a defy danger, and I think this is probably Dex because you're trying to move fast.
All right.
Yeah. So you twirl and there's a dull dunk as the dagger glances off of your shield. Meanwhile, Olga is going to shove past you and level her sword at Farron's throat. Farron, what would you like to do as this happens?
I like to get the fuck out of the way.
Okay. So she's basically trying to pin you against the wall with her sword to your throat. She's not actively attacking you, but go ahead and roll Defy Danger here.
Okay.
See
And
if you
this would
can-
be
With
Dex?
Dex, I think, because you're trying to get the fuck out of the way.
Oh, God.
7 to 9. Hard bargain or ugly choice. Yeah. So you can get out of the way. You've got two options. Either you can let her corner you, or you can get out of the way. But doing so is going to deal damage to you. You're gonna get out of the way through her sword, effectively. But you'll be free to move around and act, and
I'm gonna let myself get cornered.
okay. So she twists past Gregor and gets the sword. You hear the tip clang against the stone wall behind you. There's a moment where we can see you like try and escape as the sword just sizzles like a centimeter from your neck. And she stops there and says, "Drop your weapon, Gregor." So unless you
Gregor
want this one to
doesn't
live.
hesitate at all.
You hear Skullbreaker, "Gregor, what are you doing? They're not worth it."
I'll come. Let him go, I'll come.
Good. She's just gonna sock Farron in the face to try and knock them out. Are you okay with being knocked out, Kiana, or would you like to defy danger and resist? I'm not going to deal damage to you. It's just a question of are you okay with Farron being unconscious for this next part, or do you want him to have a bloody ass nose and be unhappy? Uh-oh, did you lose Discord audio?
Hello?
Discord's reloading.
Oh. Such suspense.
Such suspense.
What will Farron do?
Will Farron fall unconscious? Or will Farron break their nose? Find out next time. The next thrilling episode of From Dust. Have I told you, chat, recently about this thing called Twitch Prime? So, if you have an Amazon Prime account and you connect it to your Twitch account, you get one free subscription each month to a broadcaster of your choice. It could, for example, be me, or it could be anyone that is an affiliate or a partner. It affords all of the same benefits of emotes if the broadcaster has them, and it gives all the same benefits to the broadcaster too. It's not worth less to them. It's exactly the same. And if you have Twitch Prime, you get access to free in-game goodies in various games every month. Just thought I would let you know while we wait.
In case you were wondering.
On Discord. Roll with the punch, act like you're out. That's an interesting idea, actually.
Smart.
I like that. Okay, Kiana is typing.
That's good.
Discord is reloading. Think it lost connection. Rip, yeah. So, while we wait on this, the other figure is gonna start trying to tie your hands behind your back.
Yeah, Gregor's just gonna let him.
Okay. You see the figure at the end of the alleyway drop to their knees, sort of in defeat. Oh no, gonna look at the router.
Well, I kind of made the choice for you.
You know what? Actually, I think we'll just take an early break here. We'll take an early break here as Gregor gets pushed up against the wall. This thug trying to like check your pockets and whatnot for other weapons. We will fade to a commercial break on that scene. When we come back, we will find out if our heroes can find a way out of this situation. See you soon. Hello, welcome back to From Dust. We have microphones again. So, as Gregor is having his hands tied behind his back, Olga is just gonna punch Farron directly in the face in an attempt to knock them out. Are you okay with going down? Or would you like to stay conscious? Or I like Torfi's suggestion in chat, which is to try and act like you've been knocked out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for.
Okay. I'm not sure what kind of... I think this is a defy danger with con, because you're just trying to, like, endure the hit to your head.
Just try to endure it.
And pretend to be out.
Yeah, it's either that or with quick thinking.
I could take that. I would be okay with that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'm trying to be real.
With a stat that you have.
Darn it.
An 8. Okay. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. Offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you can roll with it and pretend that you're out. But you're... have you been carrying the scythe with you?
Shit. I don't think they have it with them right now.
Okay, then I think you're gonna drop your rapier, and Olga's not gonna pick it up. So you'll be losing your rapier.
All right.
So Gregor, you see Farron just take this big thuggish punch to the face and go down like a sack of bricks. And Olga will sheathe her sword and walk back to the figure in the alleyway and grab them by the front of their shirt, press them up against the wall, and begin tying their hands as well. Do you have any other weapons on you?
Nah, just my shield.
Okay. Then the bandit will take the shield off of you and like strap it to his own back. And at this point, Olga will come back over with the figure and pulling her into the light. You see a figure. She does seem familiar, and thinking back on it, you remember accidentally colliding with someone as you left the city to head out to the Harpies. This is the same person. She has gold-colored eyes, and as you're getting a good look at her now, because she's not just brushing past, she has ash-gray skin, and hidden beneath the hood is a pair of curved horns that protrude forward and then turn steeply back. And she'll pass the figure, this person, off to the bandit, and she'll say, "Kivo, you take these two." And she grabs Farron, pulls him limply up off the ground. It's better not to leave them here. Throws them over the shoulder and takes the cloak off of the body and sort of wraps Farron up, so it's like she's just carrying a carpet, basically. Shall we? She picks up your hammer. Lead on, then. I'm sure you remember the way.
Gregor will start leading on.
Okay. They will like... They know the city well enough to know if you're trying to take them toward more populated streets. Are you trying to trick them in some way, or are you just playing along at this point?
Playing along, it seems like the safer option, honestly, right now.
Then they
Although
will...
he will try to be like, can you just leave them? Like, they don't know who you are. They don't know anything.
I hate asking you to make a roll because I know you're going to get a 10+.
Nope, this will be the one.
But I think this is a defy danger with charm and social grace. Because you don't have leverage, so this isn't a parlay. Yeah, see? I told you. I'll leave them somewhere safe outside the city. But I don't want them running to the guard the moment they wake up.
All right.
And they will lead you out one of the sort of the smaller gates. Actually, probably one of the larger gates where it's more crowded. And out onto the road. After about 10 minutes of walking outside the city, she'll go a little ways off into there's a small, like a dell near the road, and she'll unceremoniously just drop Farron on the ground. It hurts. It knocks the wind out of you. And she'll walk back to you and this other person, and she'll grab a hold of the other figure while Kivo, this other thief, keeps hold of your hands and pushes you ahead. Should only be, what, 2 hours walk, you think? Your friend, some fire in that one for how little they know how to wield a blade. And I think you can just hear this, Farron, from the distance, because they haven't gotten that far yet. Farron, what would you like to do? You've been dropped unceremoniously, probably still bleeding, in a little depression in the ground, some few meters from the road, wrapped in a dead man's cloak.
Great. Love it. Okay. So I'm still kind of in clear view, I'd imagine.
You're hidden by the change in elevation. There's like a hill between you and the road. Which is why you were dumped here, so that people passing by presumably wouldn't see you.
I'm gonna slowly unroll myself.
Okay. Your clothes are ruined and sticky and gross. But you're breathing. And you can stand.
Cool. How long does it take to apply a bandage or whatever?
So bandages, they have the slow tag. So let me just double check precisely what that says. But I think it means like it's going to take you some time. It's not going to be like a do this mid-combat. Let's see. Equipment tag, slow. It takes minutes or more to use. So yeah, I think it's going to take you a couple minutes to bandage up. Typically, I think bandages are used... Yeah, they're used to bandage someone else's wounds. So
Okay.
I would let you still do it, but I would have you roll for it to see if you can effectively do it, or if you're just going to kill more time. But you know
Yeah,
what
I think
road
I'm
they're
gonna
on?
try to bandage myself up.
Okay, so this will be just roll a check with Dex. We can use Defy Danger for now. I think the
Defy
danger
danger.
is the danger is taking more time than you would like. Okay, so you can heal I think it's 4 HP, is it?
I think so.
So you're back up to 16. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a worse outcome here. It is gonna take you just a couple minutes more, and it's long enough that you lose sight of the 4 of them. You might be able to catch up, but
Yeah, so after I finish tying off the bandages, kind of stand up and take the cloak to try to hide the fine, bloody clothing.
yeah.
I'll just shrug it on. I'm gonna see if I can catch up, or at least figure out which way they went.
Okay.
If not, like, and if it's not within the next like 5-10 minutes, gonna turn back and head back towards the city.
Okay. Let's cut back over to Gregor. How are you comporting yourself in this captive situation? Are you talking? Are you remaining silent? Are you trying to assess what's going on with you?
I'll think that for a time, Gregor has been silent.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, there's a lot going on here. Here's people he doesn't want to see. His friend just got injured. You know, Gregor thinks Farron's worse for wear. Gregor thinks he's unconscious,
Hmm.
but at least he's alive, he thinks.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And finally, Gregor, having tried being stoic for a bit, is like, Olga, what's this all about?
Bruno's different, Gregor. This life that we lead, it's a hard one, full of hard choices. And that weighs on a person's soul. Not long after you left, the caravan came through. We did what we always do. Something had changed. Bruno didn't want them to know we were there. So he killed them. All of them. They were families, Gregor. And when he did that, something broke. He became... He's not human anymore.
Literally or figuratively?
He, or she looks at the woman next to you who has been silent this entire time. He's one of them now. A demon. But it seems he kept his mind. Like her.
Who is she?
You see her, like, look sort of worriedly at you. She, well, I don't have her name, and she like pulls the hood back, and you see the woman flinch away. But if the rumors are to be true, she can take things away. The gunk, the sin from people, she can take it. So, Bruno wanted me to find you. When I heard about her, thought maybe she could take more from him. Some of the crew have tried. Not everyone was happy with the changes Bruno wants for us. The goals he has in mind, but, well, they didn't live long. So...
So what are you trying to do here, Olga?
I wonder if she trusts you. think there's a role to be made here. Do you have a bond with your past crew? Is that in your bond somewhere?
Not an existing one. I just have one
Okay.
for
Then I think I just want you to roll a flat 2d6 here.
Okay. You wanted 2?
Yeah. Oh, okay, just barely in the 7 to 9. That's for me to know, and you to worry about.
Gregor's worrying.
I think around this time, Farron, you can, like, sort of limping along the road. You see the 4 of them up ahead as you turn a bend. What do you do?
I am going to keep my distance,
Okay.
but
try
I
and-
am going to follow.
Okay, you're gonna try and be stealthy.
Yes, I'll go with
Okay.
that.
I think this is because you're not a rogue, which I think I think the thief is the only class with an actual like hide move. I think this is a defy danger with it's not with dex because you're not getting out of the way or acting fast. I think this is quick thinking. It's like finding hiding spots anytime they might look your way.
Yeah. God.
Whew. Okay. The tides are turning. 7 to 9. I think you can do it. I think you can hide. But you're still losing blood through your bandages. And I'm gonna give you -1 ongoing until you can properly treat your wounds.
All right.
So you do manage to like duck behind bushes and whatnot as you go, and after about an hour, the 4 of them leave the road and turn into there's sort of a wooded ravine that carves down into the earth. They head that way. Gregor, you know where you're going. This is very familiar territory. And as you go, you see the like sort of like hunter's blinds that are built into the trees where lookouts occasionally station themselves to keep an eye out. And after another 20 minutes or so, you begin to hear voices and the trees part. You see a tall palisade wall, the spiked tree log walls, and this crude gate swings open. Farron, you managed to close some distance as they got into the wooded area, so you could get closer without being noticed. And you see this around the same time. So you see that Gregor and this other person are being led inside what is essentially a small fortress. What's your plan? What do you do?
So Farron wasn't exactly expecting a small fortress, and now like, shit. Um. Hmm. I think they're going to hang out, hiding away.
Okay.
By the like off to the side of the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously watch them go in, watch where they go in and what happens there, but not following them to
Okay.
the door
So
proper.
are you trying to like suss out the
Yeah, I'm
fortress
trying to
itself?
suss out this.
All right, then I think this is a discern realities as you like try and find a good vantage point, so where you
All right.
can you can rest out of sight but have a view.
This is reality. And now.
Nice. Okay, so that means you get one question off the list, and you get +1 forward when acting on the answers.
All right.
You can ask now, or if you would prefer, you can wait.
I I'm going to say, what should I be on the lookout for?
What you should be. Oh gosh, many things. So this isn't a small fort. There are multiple buildings within the walls, and probably at least 100 souls inside. The walls aren't really built so that you can walk on them, but there are patrols that you see sort of creeping through the surrounding forest that are keeping an eye out. Probably five lookouts on some kind of a route around the wall itself. So I think what you should be on the lookout for is just the many bandits that are here, and I think you can suss out roughly the locations of the lookouts. Meanwhile, Gregor, you are separated from the demon. She is led somewhere else, but you are taken to a large hall, sort of in the center, that you know is Bruno's hall. That's where he holds his thieves' court. And Olga is going to march you there herself. As you're brought into the fortress, you see there are a lot of faces that you don't recognize, and there are certainly many more people here than there were when you left. The population has probably doubled since then. And as you're brought into the hall, it's loud and raucous, but it dies down as the door swings open. You see many faces here that you do recognize. Specifically, you do see Rupert there. But down at the end, there is a throne that you recall was looted, I think. Where was it looted from? Like what caravan was this throne taken from?
Oh man. Just for funsies, let's say it was from I don't know, maybe from an emissary from a foreign land.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. So, it's a throne made of gold, and the sort of the piece that sits behind the head has this emblazoned, stylized sun, with a ruby set in the center of it. And sitting on the throne is a figure that you at first don't recognize, but as you look more closely at his ash-colored face, he is still Bruno. Is he a big fellow, or is he more wiry? What kind of figure does he strike?
I'd say Bruno's a very big fellow. Could
Okay.
probably give Gregor a run for his money.
Okay, so he's this enormous person, sort of lounging in the throne. He's got ashen gray skin and a pair of large ram's horns that protrude now from his forehead, and a pair of bright crimson eyes that seem to pierce the smoke that fills this room. Ah, Gregor. So kind of you to come home.
Bruno, what the hell did you do to yourself?
You don't look so great yourself. He stands up, and the throne actually like slides back in on the wood, digging into it, and everybody sort of pulls back away from the there's a long fire pit, I think, down the center of the room. He walks towards you, his footfalls thudding heavily. I am what we all must become one day. I am better.
I don't think that's true, Bruno.
How can you be so sure? And he reaches over and takes a sword off of the hip of one of the bandits, and they sort of back away, frightened. Don't you wish you had this kind of power? And he thrusts the sword to the hilt into his gut, and then draws it, and you see the wound close. With this power, and he throws the sword down, and it buries halfway into the thick wooden floor. He's probably pretty close to you now, 20 feet, let's say. This world could be ours.
Gregor is probably, for the first time, scared. And he just says, Bruno, we had a code. You brought me up on it.
He's right in front of you now, looming probably an entire foot above you. He leans down to whisper into your ear, "We all do what we must, Gregor. You left me with so little." And he pulls you into an embrace. You will learn, given time. And he holds you out at arm's length. But first, let us celebrate. Olga, remove these ropes. A drink. And the room returns to its previous merriment. Your hands are untied. You were brought a hefty flagon of mead, and several people that you know come to you to hug you and welcome you back. Rupert in particular will walk up. I'm sure it's not under the best of circumstances, but I'm so glad you've returned. I hope Olga wasn't too rough.
Well, Olga.
Right. Well, you look not the worse for wear for it. Come, sit with me.
Gregor's just gonna kind of look around for a bit, and he'll go along.
Your compatriots, were they around when Olga found you?
No.
Oh, well, that's good.
They tend to go off and do their own things.
Well, that's how you can tell they're not the best friends. He'll nudge you with his elbow.
So, it's gonna glance over to Bruno.
Yeah, he's not far, because Rupert, I think, was way down at the end.
Is he earshot?
Probably not with the volume of this room. At least a human, wouldn't be able to hear. You're not entirely sure what strange powers Bruno might possess.
Well, Gregor's pretty sure that Bruno and everyone else already kind of sees his shock and displeasure, so he'll just say, so this is what we are now.
Look, this... life is what it is. There are people who are on top, and there are people who get crushed. Bruno's making sure we don't get crushed. And, I mean, have you seen how many people are here now?
Yeah, and I've also seen demons face to face. And they don't look like him.
Not usually. I mean, I've seen men turn. But Bruno, he's not like the others. He's not an animal. He's himself. Mind you, he's got some ambition, but that started long before the change.
So what, you gonna get a nice pair of horns yourself?
Look, I'm not looking for it. I'm happy being who I am, but to see what he can do now, if I could hope for that kind of strength, you know I would go for it. Wouldn't you?
Maybe I'm just lucky, but I've never really had to worry about strength.
Right. Of course not.
And you don't think you'd pay for that? Somehow, some way.
Everything has a price, Gregor. We all choose day to day what price to pay. But this world doesn't give you anything for free.
Gregor's gonna lean back, actually take a sip of the mead. So how many people have you killed since I left, huh? Since, you know, that's her style now.
It's not like that. We don't just kill people for no reason. But with what we're making, if we let everybody see how we're growing, you think we'd be able to grow for much longer? The Duke would send people. Worse yet, call for aid from Sanctuary. We need time. And anyway, we give them a choice. They can cling to whatever life they thought they had, or they can join us. It's been working.
I didn't realize we were looking into setting up government now.
Look. I can't speak for everyone. I don't care about the politics. But I know that being here keeps me alive, keeps me fed, keeps me watered, keeps me happy. Out there, they'd have my head in an instant. Yours too, if they knew what you did. With the bonds magi, look, we've been lucky. We've found a few rogue mages, and we've given them a home where they're safe, not some tool. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty well.
You know, before I left, I thought I was doing pretty well too. But it's easy to think so when you've only ever had the one perspective. I didn't choose to leave at the time, but it made me see things for what they really are. And maybe I just got lucky because people found out what I was and didn't kill me.
Yeah, who
But
found
maybe if you had that chance, you'd see what's wrong with all this.
you? Who did find you when you left? Who was it?
Well, you got all these mages here. You remember when, me and a few of the guys were gonna go sneak into White Spire and come back with some magical weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never left.
So, you think you were more than a curiosity to them?
Maybe not quite, but,
That's the thing, Gregor. Is while your brothers died, you got to live in the lap of Bond's Mage luxury because they liked you. They liked what you represented. Bond's Magi, even the Duke, the Regent, all of them, they like people like you because you do what you're told. And they can parade you in front of others and say, look, we're so much better. We can make these lowlifes into something. But it's never about you. It's never about actually making things better for the rest of us. It's just about affirming their own ego.
maybe you're right. Maybe that's exactly what Bruno's doing with me right now.
Could you roll Defy Danger with Charisma? I think the danger here is that... The danger is Rupert's not going to take kindly to that suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus! Oh my god. Take a -5 forward. No. Okay. Yeah, I think that strikes a chord. I don't think he's buying it. But he's not upset at the suggestion, right? He's not pushing back. You'll see. Give it time. Get to know people. It's not what you left. It's family. These people, they'll welcome you. If you just give them a chance.
Gregor doesn't really have any words for him.
All right, I think we can cut back outside to Farron. What are you doing? You saw the hooded figure who, like, with the hood taken down, you can tell just barely from a distance that she has horns, which is weird. You can see her led off to a low building, sort of to the side, whereas Gregor is led to this large hall.
Okay. So Farron's gonna actually patch themselves up properly.
Okay, you can get rid of the -1 forward then.
So now, I'm actually bleeding out.
Yeah, you stem the bleeding. You like sit there with the bandages and like refasten them. You're good now.
And they're gonna pull the cloak on them kind of over again, and they're
Actually,
gonna kind of Yep.
really quick, was it bandages or was it poultices?
I did have a bandage before.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
just making sure I gave you the right amount of health back.
Cool. I'm gonna kind of pull the cloak over again,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna do kind of a loop around so that so that when they hit the pathway again, it'll more seem like they came from further down the road and not just off
Mm.
this side.
Okay. So are you heading back toward the city, or are you looping around to come back toward the fortress?
I'm looping around to come back towards the fortress.
Okay. So you loop through the forest and get back onto the road. What's your goal here? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to like approach the fort?
Yes, I'm going to try to approach it.
Okay. Cool. So as you break through the trees, go ahead and roll a discern realities if you're like being aware of your situation, which I sort of
Yeah.
assume you are. I doubt you're just sort of blindly walking forward. Okay. So you get one question.
All right. What should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, good. As you reach the break in the trees, you hear the snap of a twig underfoot from behind you, and there's one of the lookouts who has like a cloth pulled over their like lower face, has an arrow knocked and pointed at you. They're not shooting you, but they were trying to creep in close enough to take you out, essentially. And they see that you see them, and they're giving you enough time to act first, because they're trying to see what you're going to do.
And I put my my hands not fully up, but it's kind of like, show that I'm not armed. So, pardon me, I we're looking for somebody.
Okay. So what are you trying to get out of this exchange?
So, I am trying to get this guy to not shoot me, or
Okay.
hurt me, or tell me to go away.
Is that it? Are you okay? So I'm gonna give some advice as the GM. I recommend asking for big things so that when you succeed partially, you get small things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask if this guy will lead me to who I'm looking for.
Okay. Oof. This is a defy danger for sure.
All right.
You don't have leverage, and the danger here is he's just gonna shoot you.
Yep. Charisma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
I'm 8.
on. All right. Yeah. Sure. I'll take you to whoever you want to see. And they're gonna come up and try and just I'll need to tie your hands as a precaution. They're not going to be taking you to who you want to see. They're going to be capturing you.
Like, and I'm seeing this. Look, let me be clear. I'd like to speak to whoever Bruno is. And I want to be charming and open.
Okay. So, when thou art charming and open, speak frankly, Yeah. So you're speaking frankly. As long as you're not lying or anything, and you're just being totally honest.
Yeah,
And
I'd like to
and
get
and
that to Bruno,
forthright. You
please.
can ask a question. Um,
Okay. Um, how can I get you to? How can I get you to not capture me?
um, in the sense like, how can you get them to let you go, or how can you get them to actually take you to Bruno? Or
To actually
yeah.
take me to Bruno.
Um, you're. uh, well, I guess if your money just happened to disappear before we brought you in the walls, I might be able to bring you to Bruno. Does that sound good?
Keeping their hands up. That sounds like a deal to me.
They'll like pluck your coin purse off of your belt and attach it to theirs. All right, go ahead, walk. And they'll begin leading you toward the fort. As you walk, he's gonna ask, so, what do you really want here? And you must answer truthfully.
I would like to see what Bruno wants from my friend, and to
Mm-hmm.
see how I could possibly negotiate.
I see. I see. Open the fucking gate! Jesus Christ, okay. The gate opens. They don't actually say Jesus Christ. They use a setting appropriate deity.
I just know. Well, quite the system you have here. Very efficient.
Yeah. That's enough talking until we get you inside. He'll push you forward into the gate. Now that you're inside, you see the same sight that Gregor did. Many individuals, none of them looking particularly kind, all looking directly at you. You can tell they don't. This doesn't happen very often. Certainly not twice in a day. So you have the attention of everyone there. And you actually, looking around, it's a diverse bunch of the various races that can be found here, mostly humans and elves and the occasional half-elf. But you also see, scattered here and there, a few dwarves, which is very rare. Dwarves sort of, when things went to shit with the whole Reformation business and everything fell into chaos, most of the dwarves just retreated into their mountains to tell everybody else to fuck off. So not a whole lot of dwarves in this region. You also see a human that is very clearly working magic, which is obviously not the norm. And you're brought to the hall, and it's deafening loud. Gregor, you see the door open, and your heart sinks as you see Farron being led into the room by a bandit that you don't recognize. It's one of the new folks. Bruno, I caught this one skulking around outside. Said they wanted
Skulking.
to. Shut up.
I was approaching the doors.
They want to talk to you and that guy. Nods toward Gregor. The room goes sort of quiet again. There's some murmuring, some muttering. You can go, Liam. But you can go. Yes, sir. The door closes behind you. What is your name?
I am known as Farron.
And how do you know Gregor?
He has been my companion and perhaps a bit of a bodyguard. Either way, his presence is sorely missed.
He turns to you, Gregor. A bodyguard. Really?
Yep, that's right, Bruno.
I can't say I'm surprised. How do you think of your bodyguard, Farron?
In terms of what? Just general feelings, or are you looking for more specific feedback?
What is he to you?
He is, as I said, a companion, a bodyguard of forms, but I should say bodyguard is a simplistic term for this. You see, he's able to help out and use his strength not just for myself, but for others, and to benefit himself as well. I'm sure the skills that he learned has some roots with kind of looking at Bruno and his demonic.
Yup.
Some of your upbringing. But he seemed to have made quite a bit of himself using it. So he's not just a bodyguard per se, he is a dear companion, a dear friend. And as I said, his presence is sorely missed.
It is. But you see, Gregor is my family, not yours. Friendship is your companion. Friendship demands sacrifice. What are you willing to give up for him?
At this point, Gregor is just like silently trying to just go.
Are you doing the eyes? Play your character eyes.
Whew. You see, Bruno, I am a bit of a traveling entertainer, as you can. The cloak parts a bit to see the finery that isn't completely bloodstained.
Yeah.
And as all traveling entertainers go, reputation and the ability to travel is, well, two of the most important things that an entertainer could have. I would stake my entire reputation.
Reputation.
It's not just reputation, my friend. You see, with any entertainer, you hope that your words will live on in other people's generations and their songs and stories. You see, reputation is not just how other people see you, it's how long you live. It's how long your legacy lasts on. See, who will remember you, Bruno? It is because of your reputation that they will.
I think as you're delivering this speech, Olga walks up to him and whispers something to him. I think I'll live for quite some time, Farron.
You can live and be forgotten.
I think not. And I think you'll see to it that that isn't the case. A deal, if you will. Gregor is free to choose whether he stays or goes. But you will remain. You will work for me. I hear you have magic that could be quite useful to me. But moreover, if you are the entertainer you say you are, if you have the way with words that you boast of having, I would use that myself. Your choice. Is he a friend, or is he a bodyguard? And he just leans back in his throne and drinks deeply.
No, that is one of the more generous offers I have seen in all my time. Not many offer choices. As long as I am not locked up like some form of bird in a cage, I could see them amenable to at least let your family choose which direction they would like to go.
Of course. Please come. And he gestures to a pillow, like right next to his throne. We have much to discuss. And then he'll turn his large demonic head toward you, Gregor. I had hoped to keep you here long enough for you to learn how things are different, to find your place. But the elf speaks true. Family is not kept. You may go, or you may stay. It is your choice. But know that if you do leave, and he leans forward off of the throne, seeming to grow even taller as he does so until he's right in front of your face. If you bring guards, soldiers, anyone back here, your friend will die. And he retreats to his throne. So, Farron, tell me a story. And I think this is a good point for us to cut. I actually I'm a little tempted to end the episode early. Like, I know it'd be a shorter episode. It's like a half episode, but I think this is a really good point for us to wait for the rest of the party. Is that okay with the both of you?
Yeah, I hear the end credits music playing.
All right.
As Farron's about to share his story.
Wow, what an episode. This is not where I thought this was going at all. Wow. Oh god, I love Dungeon World. Okay, so thank you both. Thank all of you for watching. But before you go anywhere, let's do some shout outs, because these two amazing role players just kicked ass on their own. So you owe it to them to listen to their shoutouts and see where they are, and you owe it to yourself to watch the other shit that they're up to. So, start us off, Kiana. Where can people find you?
Whew, you can find me over on Twitter at KennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm all over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. But with the holidays, I have a bunch of one-shots I'm going to be in. I have a tweet up around that has all of that. But you can catch me at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning doing some Monster Hunter? Wow. You know, my brain's clearly working. That's going to be super fun. I play a divine. So basically a celestial being that has been brought down to save the world.
Nice.
And is now stuck with a bunch of people to fight monsters. And as I said, I'm starting up a series of one-shots of doing Bluebeard's Bride, which is a series of feminine horror as presented by Magpie Games. Our first one is on Monday on Off the Table, so check it out. It's going to be great. I have a really awesome all-female cast, and we're going to be exploring the terrible, terrible things that haunt the house of Bluebeard. Man, you know, Farron's gonna have to take some time to figure out their feelings.
Yeah. Yup. Feeling it.
It's like, ha! Alright, Farron. That's what we're sacrificing. Cool.
Yeah. So, on the receiving end of that sacrifice, Adam, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at AdamRoVO. I'm a voice actor, and I also talk about D&D on YouTube. I think it's just youtube.com/AdamRo. And I talk about mostly the behavioral, social aspects of D&D, but in general, Twitter is where I put many important updates.
Hell yeah. I really loved getting to see more of Gregor, and more of Gregor, like, under pressure in this episode.
It definitely was there.
Before I get to talking about the channel and what we're up to, I want to throw a quick shout out to Summer, who could not make it tonight. But you can find her on Twitter at JustASummerJob. You can also find her on Twitch at off_the_table. It's the channel she runs. You heard Kiana mention it. It's awesome. They have games all the fucking time. They're a fantastic community. Go check them out. Also, Jess, who could not make it. She is a streamer, an illustrator, a designer, a voiceover artist. She does just a shitload of stuff. You can find her on Twitter at Little Cup of Joe, and also on Twitch at Little Cup of Joe, where on the weekends she plays Otome games, and all of us scream about them. So that's been a lot of fun. She's also looking at running more games, like RPGs, so if you like this sort of stuff and you want more of it, definitely give her a follow. We're going to be playing a monthly Monster of the Week game over on her channel. I don't know if she's announced that, but whatever. And that's looking to be really awesome, so definitely check her out. As for myself, hi, I'm me. You can find me here frequently. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube as well at Anarsis. I will. Our Tuesday show is currently on a hiatus. Well, the show that was there got canceled, and we're replacing it with a very almost identical show, but with a lot less Adventurers League, starting in January. But I am thinking I'm going to bring back the gaming streams, the video game streams, starting on Wednesday. And the game that I'm looking at playing is I Am Setsuna, which I am very excited to check out. We were playing Tales of Symphonia, and I found the gameplay trying. I was really interested in the story, but the rest of it was not my jam. So I'm excited to play a more modern game, or a more modern take on the classic JRPG genre. I think that'll be just the perfect middle ground for me. So definitely come by and check that out. Next weekend on Saturday, so a week from today, we will be back with Travel, which is our Ryutama game, and we are doing a holiday episode for that since it's just a few days before Christmas. So we've talked about it, and we have lined up a very, very good exploration of the holidays with that sweet, sweet crew. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, but most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night.